Well, good morning. My name is George Tift. I want to welcome you to my channel. How many of you out there are in your 50s and 60s and you didn't have any, I didn't have any common sense to save any money for retirement? I know they say that there's like 20% of the population has nothing saved for retirement by the time they get to retirement age. And I know for me, when I first pondered it, it kind of scared the snot out of me. You know, I was always one of those people that kind of lived hand to mouth, and you know, I was raised to believe if you're not happy doing what you're doing, do something else. And for most of my life, that's what I did. You know, there were times when I did get a job or stayed in a job I didn't like because I needed the money, you know. But to be bound like that, man, I don't think that's how we were created to be, you know. I think we kind of missed the boat. But the YouTube economy is creating a way for anybody to get ahead. You know, I don't know what the percentage of people that have a cell phone is, but I know there's a lot of them. I mean, I see homeless people with cell phones. And I'm 67 years old. Been through a lot. Divorced once, widowed once. I'm in my third marriage. I've known her since I was 10 years old, though, so that it has a unique flair to it. But I think I'm going to try this YouTube thing to see if I can make up for the retirement I never put together. You know, and starting at 67 is kind of frightening. It's a scary thing. Things that make you go, huh. But I invite you to come along with me. I go on these walks every morning. I try and walk like 3 miles a day. How I'm going to be able to do it carrying this camera thingy is, you know, we shall see, huh? But I live in Sacramento, California. It's a beautiful, beautiful, cloudless morning here in Sacramento. It's in the 60s. You know, I've had some really, really good jobs, but they sucked. And then I've had jobs that I really enjoyed that, for one reason or another, didn't work out. I've had times in my life where my behavior was not appropriate. You know, and you get up the next day and you just try and do better. And I think that's my thing. I try and make today better than yesterday, you know. I try not to carry a whole lot of baggage. But we all know we got suitcases that we just drag along with us. So maybe by doing this I can release some of my baggage, you know. Maybe help somebody else release theirs too. Came from a pretty dysfunctional family early in my life. I got a unique situation in that I had a stepfather before I had my real father. And a million years ago, my mom had an affair with a man while she was married to a guy who I thought was my father. And out of that relationship, the guy who I thought was my father, he thought he had 7 kids. Well, come to find out, 3 of them weren't his. But my mom stayed with him for 26 years and finally had enough. He he was broken from World War II. He never kind of got over the war. And he came from a really, really dysfunctional house. But so when I was 10 years old, my mom married my real father. But they didn't tell me. They didn't feel it was time, so they waited until I turned 21. But in the meantime, I just had a bunch of things happen to me that really shouldn't happen to little children. I got molested by a priest when I was 14, and it just totally warped my whole outlook on life. I thought that God must be for everybody else because he couldn't be for me. He wouldn't allow something like that to happen, But it did, and it affected me just really, really terribly. By the time I turned 18, I had been in jail for over 2 years. I did a lot of bodily harm to myself, ended up in a lot of institutions, and and it was kind of like that till I was 35. Then when I turned 35, through a series of events, I bumped into Jesus, and he helped me put things in perspective. I'm not a religious person at all. I was on staff at a church once, but I got kicked out because I challenged something. There was something that wasn't true. There was some bad behavior going on that was wrong. So I challenged it, and they kicked me out. And I got to tell you, my relationship with Christ is stronger for that. I can stand alone outside of the masses and know that I got a heart for God and a heart for people. I saw something the other day that really was a challenge for me. It was somebody posted a question on an online board, and it was, how would you prove, if you're a Christian, how would you prove to someone that you're a Christian? And a lot of people answered, well, they study scripture and they know the Bible and so on and so forth. And you know what the answer is, really? How do you love people? How do you love people? Because that's the true sign. It's how you treat people, how you love people, how you care for people. And I think that if people who said they love God, if they followed that one rule, that was the only thing Jesus laid down. He says, love God and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And we live in a day and age, man, where that love is few and far between, it seems. I got to cross the street here so I don't get mowed down. She's coming right at me. But I figure we'll take and go on these walks together. But if you're 60 or 50 plus, 40 plus, whatever, with the world the way it's going right now, with AI, especially with AI, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs because it'll become so much more efficient to use machine learning to, AI. Can you do your job? Lawyers are going to be in real trouble because so much law can be done with AI. A lot of people who think they're so secure in their jobs are going to lose their jobs. And anybody with a phone can start a YouTube channel. And what motivated me was I saw a girl, she worked for DoorDash. Can't remember what her site was. But all she did was she'd use her phone and she'd do a video about her day doing DoorDash, bringing food to people's houses and stuff. And she just posts this little 8 to 10 minute video every day. And it caught on because it was people being real. And I think that's what we really need, is people being real. And where so many people are going to be affected in the job market with AI, They're going to need ways of living and earning a living. But this girl on DoorDash, she posted a video about how much she hated her job. And that one video took off and ignited her channel. And her last month, I think it was like the first month that she was online, she made like $5,000. And she was so sweet in how she portrayed it, you know. It was really kind of special. And it motivated me, because if it's just about being real, I can be real. And I love people. So hey, I hope you like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that they say you're supposed to do on YouTube. But hang around, let's be real together. I'll tell you my story, and you can tell me yours in the comments. Till tomorrow. Have a great day. Be nice.